Guys, I am back here for day 76. It is 21 degrees out here. Woo, it's cold. So we are out here today in the Jordan 14s, reverse Ferrari colorway. Here's what they look like from the side. It is cold, guys, but got to get out here and do it though. Before I left out, I just watched a video on basically like visceral fat and how to reduce that, and it just kind of popped up in my feed. For me as a 46-year-old, that's where the majority of my overweight portion of my body is concentrated. It's right there in the stomach, and it's kind of like the rest of the body for the most part is like an average proportion to anyone else, but then it's my beach ball belly that just kind of just sticks out, man, and everything else though is pretty thin. And so while I'm on this weight loss journey, knowing that I'm 20 pounds down, and I don't expect to see miracles or feel miracles or anything, but I would expect to feel better and to maybe look just a little bit better, but in reality, not much in my mind at least has changed. So the topic of the video essentially said that the visceral fat is different than, say, any other fat around the body, and that you don't really lose it through calorie expenditure, calories in, calories out kind of thing. It's more related to hormones. And that would happen pretty much right before you like right after you wake up, right before breakfast. And then it stated you should take a walk, even a short walk, 2 to 5 minutes, but preferably like 15 to 20 right after a meal. So especially like your most calorie dense, carbohydrate rich meal. And that would supposedly stunt the glucose response or something within the body, and you would at least get back into fat burning mode quicker, apparently. I guess it's all hypothetical. How do they really know this? I don't know what research these claims are based on, but I guess it's worth trying. I remember when I was younger and my weight wasn't really so much of a problem. I was like 180 pounds, but I can remember then I was even complaining about my belly being, a little too big at the time, and I called it my troll. But again, that was like 180 pounds. So even if I were to get down to that weight, I would expect to see that very same troll to await me unless I can somehow deal with it. Like many people out there on their own weight loss journey, I didn't always look like this. I remember in high school, I was 165 pounds soaking wet. I even remember going to the doctor because I couldn't gain weight. Like nothing I would do would allow me to gain weight. I was eating as much junk food as my body would allow, just in an attempt to try to put some weight on my frame. And I could not gain weight to save my life. Boy, did that change after college or during college. And while I was in college, I can remember I lived on a floor where a lot of football players for the college were there. And I stopped one of them and I asked him about putting on muscle and gaining weight. I told him I was going to the gym every day and I was lifting every day, and he's like, "You're doing too much." And then he told me exactly what to do. And from that point on, I started putting on a pretty good amount of muscle during that time. And then basically I had about 1.5 years of that where I was getting pretty strong, getting really fit. And then I got my first real job, first real money, first real time where I'm going out to fast food places and going out to dinners and all that. And before you know it, I'm already picking up just a crazy ton of weight, But blah, 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 that's the past. Now's the future. Now's the present. That's all I can control. In a couple days, I have another weigh-in. Hopefully I'll get some pretty good results. We'll see. So I've been walking for about 20 minutes now, and these shoes feel pretty good. They're kind of weird. They are similar to the Jordan 12s that I have, in that they kind of feel like a boot, but they seem to be a little bit more nimble, only fractionally though. They're not bad. They don't feel as stable, but they're really not bad. They're very comparable to the 12s. I was able to take the insole out of these shoes, but I decided after seeing what was there without the insole that I would go ahead and put it back. And so I put it back, and I've got my orthotic in there, and it feels pretty good. They're playing up there. They're cool. Always like checking them out. Pretty wild. The shoes are not as giving in the toe box. They are more narrow, pinching the toes. I do feel some rubbing in there that I'm not a fan of. It's rubbing the toes of my left foot so bad that I know that one of the toes will probably get a blister. That sucks. Remember, these are shoes that are like premium shoes that come at a premium price, and having them feel the way they do sometimes is just, I don't know, it sucks. When I was growing up, you know, my parents, the budget for a pair of shoes was probably like 30 bucks or something like that at Walmart. So it was Spalding and Rawlings and, God, they did have some Ewings and at one time there at Walmart. But I mean, it was just cheaper shoes. But I can tell you, they felt no worse and certainly no better than these shoes that I'm testing out right now. So you can pay hundreds of dollars for a pair of shoes, or $30 for a pair of shoes, and they're gonna feel about the same. When I said these shoes weren't bad earlier, they really hadn't started giving me a problem. And then after a while, I noticed the toes really bunching up. And my right foot is a little bit bigger than my left, but for whatever reason, the left shoe is just killing me right now. Usually, after I'm done with my walk in whatever pair of shoes I'm wearing for the day, I try to wear that pair of shoes casually as I go on about my day. And but I don't think I'm going to be able to in this pair of shoes. These are rough. It just goes to show that the experience that you're going to have in a pair of shoes does not necessarily correlate with the price that you pay for a pair of shoes. To add injury to injury, my right toe now, pinky toe, is rubbing, and I get the sense they too, or that pinky is going to probably rub a blister before the end of this walk. God, if I can make it through this without cussing, I'm gonna be lucky. Somebody out there might think that the orthotic might have something to do with it. However, the orthotic that I'm using is only like 3/4 length. It's not very tall or long at all, and it keeps the toe bed completely open. It's not too many times I see a little tugboat out on the river. It's kind of cool to see, so just kind of capturing it. It's just little stuff like that you can't get while you're walking on a treadmill inside the house, you know. I guess that's a tugboat. I have no idea what the crap it is other than it's a tugboat. Looks like something I would have called a tugboat as a kid. That's the Licking River, opens up to the Ohio River, and so the little boat might be going there to pull something. I want to say hello to our 27th subscriber. I'm not sure who you are because of privacy settings, but thank you for subscribing. 40 minutes into the walk, and these shoes just keep getting worse and worse. I'll be out here for probably another 10 minutes or so. It's going to be pretty brutal. Can't wait to get out of them. I want to thank you all for watching, and hopefully I'll get to come out here tomorrow in a better pair of shoes. Later.